The Red River Treasure. Colt, a weathered gunslinger, stares down the Red River as rumors of hidden Spanish gold spark a newfound gleam in his hardened eyes. In the dusty town of Valverde, whispers about a treasure map spread like wildfire, drawing fortune seekers, troublemakers, and dreamers alike. Colt isn't one to chase rumors, but the promise of gold could buy him a fresh start, far from the mistakes and regrets of his past. Meanwhile, Nia, a rancher's daughter tired of small-town life, overhears talk of the treasure and feels an irresistible pull toward adventure. Nia's father forbids her from going, insisting the wilds near the Red River are no place for a young woman, especially one without any survival skills. But Nia has her own plans. She slips a knife into her boot, grabs her sturdy horse, and sets out to prove her father wrong. At the edge of town, Wyatt, a soldier dishonorably discharged, listens to tales of the treasure and wonders if it could restore his lost reputation. Colt, aware that he might need help navigating Comanche territory, approaches Wyatt, recognizing the soldier's hardened look and steady stance. Wyatt, sensing a chance to regain his honor, agrees, and soon the two men, wary but determined, are partners in a treacherous venture. As Colt and Wyatt prepare to leave, Nia appears, her eyes set with fierce determination, insisting they need her knowledge of the land. Colt laughs at the idea, but Nia won't budge, reminding them she's the only one who knows the trails hidden in the hills and forests. Begrudgingly, they allow Nia to join, and the trio sets out under a burning sun, each one nursing secret hopes and fears. The map, faded and fragile, points them north along the Red River, its cryptic markings revealing hints of ancient Spanish roots. The land grows harsher as they venture farther from town, and the distant howls of coyotes add a haunting tune to their journey. Colt leads the way, eyes sharp for any sign of danger, though he keeps glancing back to ensure neither Nia nor Wyatt lag behind. When they reach a canyon, they encounter fresh horse tracks, a reminder that others may be on the trail of the treasure too. Nia studies the map, noting a strange symbol near the canyon's edge, and insists they press on, though the terrain grows rockier. As night falls, they camp under a vast sky, the stars brighter than any Colt has ever seen, though he barely notices. Around the campfire, Wyatt tells of his fall from grace, his words heavy with regret, though he keeps some truths hidden. Nia listens closely, sensing that Wyatt's honor, though tarnished, still runs deep, and she feels an unexpected kinship. When dawn breaks, they ride on, but a distant plume of smoke warns them they're not alone in this vast, open land. The smoke trail belongs to a group of Comanche scouts, who watch the trio from afar, their intent impossible to read. Colt's hand hovers over his revolver, but he knows that drawing a gun would only provoke a fight they're not prepared for. The Comanche fade into the distance, and Nia breathes a sigh of relief, though her heart pounds with lingering fear. Following the map's symbols, they come upon an old Spanish mission, its walls crumbling, but with traces of former grandeur. Inside, they find faint carvings hinting at the treasure's location, yet deciphering them requires careful attention. Wyatt, whose training included reading maps, studies the carvings, realizing they might be closer to the treasure than they thought. But as they prepare to leave the mission, they hear the thundering approach of horses. Someone is following them. Colt signals for silence as they slip into the shadows, watching the riders, whose faces are hidden by dust and scarves. The strangers ride past, unaware of the trio's presence, but their quick, practiced movements suggest they're experienced trackers. Once the riders are gone, Colt urges them onward, knowing that any delay could cost them the treasure they seek. They ride for hours, pushing their horses to the limit, each step taking them deeper into an unforgiving landscape. When they reach a narrow ravine, the map's markings suggest this is the final stretch, but the entrance is guarded by rough terrain. Nia leads them up a steep path, her knowledge of trails proving invaluable, though the climb exhausts them all. At the top, they're rewarded with a view of an ancient stone cairn, barely visible among the scrub and rocks. Wyatt and Colt start digging, their hands blistered, but the promise of treasure drives them, their exhaustion forgotten. At last, they uncover a small chest, its iron hinges rusted, but they lift it out of the ground with a mix of awe and excitement. With eager hands, Colt opens the chest, but inside, they find only empty sacks, remnants of what was once valuable. Wyatt stares in disbelief, feeling his hopes of redemption slip away as he realizes the treasure has been stolen long ago. Colt clenches his fists, feeling the sting of disappointment, though a part of him expected something like this. Nia studies the empty chest, her initial disappointment giving way to a quiet acceptance, as if she's found something deeper. Suddenly, the same riders from before surround them, guns drawn, their faces hardened by years of rough living. The leader, a scarred man, demands the map, believing it still holds secrets, though Colt tries to reason with him. Wyatt, finding courage he thought he'd lost, steps forward and challenges the leader, his voice steady and unwavering. A tense standoff ensues, but the riders hesitate, sensing Wyatt's determination, as if he has nothing left to lose. Colt seizes the moment, drawing his revolver, and a brief skirmish erupts, each of them fighting for their lives. Wyatt takes a bullet to the shoulder but keeps fighting, his honor restored by his willingness to protect his companions. In the chaos, Nia throws a handful of dust into the leader's eyes, buying them a precious few seconds to escape. They flee down the ravine, Colt half carrying Wyatt, while Nia covers their retreat with her own gun, her aim steady. At last, they reach the cover of trees, and Colt binds Wyatt's wound, though he knows they must move quickly. Exhausted and wounded, they find a hidden trail back to town, their dreams of treasure replaced by a shared bond. Wyatt, despite his injury, feels a sense of peace, knowing he's finally done something honorable, something that matters. Nia smiles at Colt, realizing their journey was never really about gold, but about courage and trust in one another. As they limp back to Valverde, the empty chest feels like a victory, a testament to the trials they survived together. In town, Wyatt is welcomed as a hero, his past mistakes forgiven by those who see the courage he displayed. Colt parts ways with them, knowing he'll never truly settle, but his heart is lighter for the friends he found along the way. Nia returns home with stories of bravery and danger, a changed woman, her eyes alight with newfound confidence. Together, they learned that treasure lies not in gold but in the bonds forged through shared struggle and survival. The Red River's mysteries may remain hidden, but for Colt, Nia, and Wyatt, the journey itself became the greatest treasure.